What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from Exotic Astrology, and today we will continue with our discussion on how to become your greatest version. Okay, what do you mean by greatest version? And this is not a series on how to become your greatest version. This is how to become your greatest version with somebody. Who is that? With God. Yes, you're right. So, we will start off with the series of how to become your greatest version with the Almighty. Okay, and before beginning, as I always say, and I have to say today, that God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him and you will find Him, and He will help you become your most cherished, most loved, the best, and the greatest version. Okay. So there's this topic in the media, in the discussions, okay, how to become your greatest version, how to bring out the best in you, how to be this, how to be that. Okay, there's so many videos people tell me that they are making and showing how to be an alpha male, okay, not a beta male, theta male, gamma male, alpha male. Okay, how to be women of A class, B class, C class. Okay, so do we really need to confine to these terminologies which the society has imposed upon us? I don't think so. Because everybody can become an alpha male, okay, in their own way, not by the way the society has defined. Okay, so today we will see how you can become an alpha male or alpha female. Okay, wherever, by staying wherever you are. Okay, you don't have to change anything, you don't have to prove anything, you just have to improve. See, that's the difference. People try to prove, actually you should only try to improve. Yes, if you improve, you are automatically proven. And if you do not improve, you have to keep proving yourself. Oh, I am this, I am that, I am like this, I am like that. That will not help you in long run. Okay, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe and share this video with others so that they can also become their greatest version with the help of the Almighty. Okay, so what do you essentially mean when you say greatest version? Okay, greatest version simply means that whatever inner talents you have, okay, and whatever things you are good at, whichever areas, okay, which is unique to you. Okay, because anything pertaining to you is unique. For example, your voice, that is also unique, because there is no other person who has the same voice like you. Okay, so anything which you are good at, for example, if you are good at cooking, okay, nobody can cook the dish exactly the way you cook. It's impossible, that can't happen. Okay, so we will have to see where do we have the talents. Okay, which areas do we have talents, and once we identify those talents, okay, we have to see where can we channelize those talents. Okay, how can we channelize? By that, what will happen is we will know how to best utilize them. Okay, for example, if somebody is a very good cook by nature, then he should go to fields related to cooking. By that, he will not be doing work, because they say that if you love what you do, then you don't have to work a single day in your life. Yes, but if you do not love what you do, then you have to keep working all the day, all night. Okay, because you will be frustrated inside. Okay, so now first step is in becoming your greatest version. honestly, we have to sit down and ask ourselves. When I say sit down, it does not mean you sit down physically. You may be walking with your dog, you may be walking with your husband, with your wife, okay, somewhere to some party, or suppose you are near the seashore, suddenly something pops up, okay, that can also be. You have to identify what is that thing which gives you happiness, okay, because perfection comes when you do the same thing every day like no other person can do, okay. When I say perfection, I don't mean perfection for you, okay. For example, if somebody is a cook, he can cook Indian dishes very well. So then if he makes paneer butter masala, okay, then he has to reach such a level of beauty in that. I would not call it perfection, I would say beauty. That every day when he makes it, it is the best. Yes. Otherwise, if it is that today it is good, tomorrow it is not good, it's not of much value. Yes. Well, sometimes things may not be as great, but the consistency has to be maintained. Okay. So we have to first identify which are the areas that we are good at. Okay. We can be good at singing, cooking, dancing, painting, making videos, editing videos, okay, studying, writing, talking, discussing, debating. Which is the area for you? Do you know it? You don't know. No problem. Astrology will tell you. Okay. So you have to check which planets are strong in your horoscope. Okay. By that you will come to know which areas you have talents. Okay. For example, if Sun is very strong, okay, you can be a great dancer. Okay. And if Moon is very strong, you can be a great singer. If Mars is very strong, you can be a great cook, okay. And if Jupiter is very strong, you can go into areas of Sanskrit, okay. If Mercury is very strong, then you can venture into areas of sculpting, making statues, etc., calligraphy also, okay. And if Venus is very strong, you can go into areas related to painting, drawing, arts, etc. So these are the ways by which you can know. So astrology will help you to exactly know where your talents are if you do not know. Okay. And then what will happen? Once you identify these areas, okay, then it's very easy to channelize. For example, if somebody's Mars is very strong, okay, then he can be a good cook. Yes, even if he doesn't know, he should at least try. So when he tries, he will come to know that this talent is there, okay, and then he can take steps further in that direction, okay. And then he should use forums online to express his creativity, okay. So by that what will happen is you will be recognized by others. So when you are recognized by others, you will also feel appreciated and you will feel valued for your work. Yes. And apart from this, because the topic is not becoming your best version, it is becoming your best version with God. Okay. So what is the extra factor which is required? The X factor. Your horoscope may tell you that you can be a good singer. Of course, there are many ways to know the talents. This video is not about which planet will give you what talent. That I will make separately some other day. Okay. But the main agenda of this video is to tell how can you, whatever talents you have, how can you connect to spirituality, okay, using those talents. And then when you connect to God, those existing talents which you have, whatever talent it can be, they will be more refined. Do you understand what I mean? Why refined? Because one of the biggest barriers in creativity, okay, or any sort of expressing of any kind of talent, what is one of the biggest barriers? It is our own conceptions of negativity, that we can't do this, we can't do that. Okay, that is born out of our own conception of the mind. When the mind is disturbed, then even if you have the best of the best things, you will misuse it. Have you seen those people who are very intelligent but they never study? Why? People say Mercury, Jupiter are significators of intelligence and knowledge, etc. Yes, they are, there is no doubt. But then why do they don't study? Because their mind is not controlled. You understand? So ultimately, you have to understand whatever you have inside. Okay? It can be anything: cooking, singing, dancing. If your mind is not supporting you there, you cannot do it. You cannot become your greatest version. You simply cannot. And is this a discouragement? No, this is not a discouragement. This is a encouragement to cross beyond that level. Yes, you can do it. So what happens is, when you inculcate for practices of spirituality inside your life, okay, then what happens? You are more connected to yourself. Then you will know within that what suits you the best. Let me give you an example. For example, if somebody is a very good painter, okay, then what? He can go on painting recklessly. But if his mind is very calm, very peaceful, very clean, okay, then what happens? He will be able to properly visualize what he should do. And always remember, having talent is one thing, and becoming your greatest version means consistently applying those talents. Consistency is very important. If there is no consistency, you might have the talent, but you cannot become your greatest version. Am I clear on that? Yes. And consistency is something which can only come if the mind of the native is peaceful. Okay. Otherwise, consistency cannot come. He can have 1,000,000,000 talents, but he will not be able to use it, or he will not be able to use it the way he could have used it. Okay. So basically, what you should do is, when you are more connected to yourself through spiritual practices, okay, then even if you do not feel like doing sometimes, then you will still have the power to do it. Take the example of going to the gym. If somebody's strength is, he's a very big bodybuilder, okay, well, everybody can start the gym, but if you do not have the traits of consistency, you cannot maintain the gym for a long time. Am I right? I think you will agree with me. Okay. So consistency comes when the mind is calm. Okay. And when is the mind calm? When the mind is free from two things. What are those two things? Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. He says that when one is free from hankering and lamentation, at that point he attains me. So which indirectly also means, to the degree you are closer to God, to that degree you will not have hankering and lamentation. Because if you have hankering and lamentation, you are either in the future or in the past. Hankering is what? You are trying to get something which you don't have. Which means you are in the future. Oh, will I get this? Will I get this? Will I get this? Lamentation means you are crying for something which you lost in the past. That means you are in the past. You are not in the present. So there you go. You cannot express your creativity properly if you are either in the future or in the past. You have to be in the present. So the best part is when you become more elevated spiritually, then you can use your existing talents in a way that will bring out the best in you, even if that is not very well grounded compared to others. For example, if there are two people, they have separate levels of intelligence, okay, but if the person who is more intelligent than the other, his mind is not calm, okay, then although he will sit to study and he can grasp things like this, but he will not be able to do it because his mind is not letting him do that. Yes. And on the other hand, the other person who is not very intelligent, okay, he can study more consistently because his mind is peaceful. So there you decide. So that is why I have made the name of this playlist as Becoming Your Greatest Version with God. It is not just becoming your greatest version. So you can become a greater version of yourself without God, but with God, you can become the greatest version of yourself. Okay? So when we inculcate daily spiritual practices in our schedule, which is known as sadhana in uh, the scriptures, okay, which means getting up in the morning, doing some chanting, okay, some meditation, reading the holy books, starting our day with good things rather than checking our status in Facebook or seeing the newspapers. It is not wrong to see newspapers, but basically, what is news? Once I heard this definition of what is news, I was fascinated by this definition. What is news basically? News is basically what? It is old things happening to new people. Should I repeat? Old things happening to new people. There was a bomb blast 20 years back. 10 years back there was some bomb blast. 5 years back there was a bomb blast. And yesterday there was another bomb blast. So the same thing is happening to new people. So this is how the morning begins, you understand? And then we complain that our work productivity is less. My dear sir, how will you be productive at work if the day is starting like this? So the day should start with positive vibrations connected to God. Every tradition has this, okay? Like in Islam, there is the concept of namaz, okay? Or at least you do certain things. Even yoga can be done physical. For example, Surya Namaskar is a very good process to start the day off with. Okay, so by this, what happens? You are more connected to yourself. Your mind is peaceful because when you are doing all this, you are going one step closer and closer to God, and then you are getting more and more clarity because mind is like the mirror. Mirror means aina. To the degree the mirror is clean, to that degree you will be able to see yourself clearly. If the mirror is very dirty, you cannot see yourself. Your own vision of yourself will be very clouded. Okay? So that is it from my side. I hope I have done some justice to the playlist of becoming your greatest version with God. That when you become closer to God, you feel more connected, you can see yourself better, and then consistently you can work on your talents. Okay? And then after a period of time, you become your greatest version with God. Okay? So that is it from my side. if you like this video, then click the like button, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, then subscribe to it. And if you want a one-to-one consultation with me, then please message me. My number is there below, okay? Or you can send me an email also, okay? And keep exploring and start becoming your greatest version, okay? So until next time, bye bye, see you.